In the previous section, we familiarized ourselves a bit more with C#. It's time for us to head back to our Xamarin Forms application, the travel record app that we were defining, and add the functionality. In this section, we're going to be using local databases. And for that, we're going to be using SQLite. SQLite is going to allow us to add a database that exists on a single file. It's going to be very light, and it's ideal for us to use databases inside of a mobile application. And the first thing that we need to do to be able to use SQLite inside of our Xamarin Forms project is to get some packages from a third party, which will allow us to use just that. And those packages have to be added to each of the projects that we have inside of the solution. It is very easy to add packages to our projects. We can do that through NuGet. NuGet is a manager that allows us to add packages, NuGet packages, to our solutions or to our projects. And in this case, because we want these packages to be added to all of the projects inside of the solution, we can manage these packages for the entire solution by right-clicking on the solution and select Manage NuGet Packages for Solution. When you select it, you're going to see this window pop up. And by default, you're going to see a list of all of the NuGet packages that have been previously installed. What we want is to browse for a new one. And if we navigate to the Browse tab, we can search for SQLite-net. This is the name of the package that we want to add. And more specifically, we want to find the one that is called SQLite-net-PCL, which will allow us to use SQLite from a portable class library and use it with Xamarin Forms. When we select this package, to the right we're going to see a list of our projects. And here we can select all of the projects to which we want to add this package. In this case, we want to add it to all of the projects, so we select them all. We can select the latest stable version available and select Install. When we select Install, you may find this preview window appear that will display to you what is going to be installed. For example, in this case for the iOS project, these 4 packages are going to be installed. In the case of the PCL project, we're going to be installing 3 packages, and in the case of Android, 5 packages are going to be installed. We click on OK, and this is going to install all of the packages that were listed in that window into the corresponding projects. And so we can close this NuGet Solution Manager and navigate to all of the projects that we have and explore, for example, what is inside of our portable project. All of these packages were added into the references folder that we have. In here, now you should be able to see some new packages that will allow us to use SQLite inside of a project. And this is going to be the same for the Android project, where you can find new SQLite references, and for the iOS project, where you will also see some SQLite references. These packages contain the code that is going to be doing most of the work. All we really have to do is tell them what the database is going to be, how it's going to look like, what tables are going to be inside of the database, and then we can tell them when to perform the operations. But it's in those packages where the code that does most of the things is located. And the reason why we need the reference in each of the projects is because we are going to be needed to use this from each of the projects. We're going to take a look at this in a bit more detail in the coming lecture, but mainly our database is going to be stored on the local device. And depending on the operating system, it will be stored on a different location. And because it is going to be a different location depending on operating system, we have to define that location as platform-specific code. So we are going to be adding just a couple of lines of code to our Android and our iOS projects in the next lecture. Right now, our projects are ready to start implementing SQLite functionality, which again is going to allow us to have local databases inside of our applications. So in the next lecture, now that our projects are ready, we're going to start implementing that functionality.